This video is sponsored by Artcraft. Artcraft is the online school of digital drawing, and they have been bringing creative people's dreams to life since 2016. They teach digital art, 2D and 3D graphics to beginners from square one. Right now, Artcraft is offering an online digital drawing course on Photoshop and Procreate. The teacher, Brian Koshu, has more than 10 years of experience as a concept artist, and he's now sharing his experience to jumpstart your growth as a digital artist. You can enter this course as a complete beginner and come out as a digital artist who's able to draw something like this, and this in only 2 months. There are a total of 3 formats to choose from. You can either choose the one-day pass, standard, or premium format, and prices start from $2. Click the link in the description below for more details. Konnichiwa senku kohaku taijuku jaku. Senpai desu. Remember in the hand tutorial I said hand is the final boss? I take that back. The leg is the true final boss. It's the kind of boss you thought you had defeated it, but it turns into a crazy form, replenishes into full health, and it now has tentacles. What? Anyways, I've covered almost all the body parts in my tutorial, except the legs and the feet. So today, I'm going to teach you how to draw anime legs. I'll leave the feet for the next episode, so stay tuned. Lean long legs. Before we draw a lean long leg, we must understand the ratio first. Here's a model who has lean long legs. Notice how almost every anime character literally has the body of a model. That's because the ratio of the leg to the rest of the body is 1:1. The legs take up half of the body's length, and the length of the body is approximately 8 heads. しかし、この世界は残酷なんだ. Peasants like you and me usually have shorter legs, longer torsos, and it just doesn't look great. So kohais, if the ratio of your leg and your upper body is 1:1, and the length of your body is approximately 8 heads, and you're good looking, stop drawing hentai and join America's Next Top Model, 2022, because COVID. Next, the ratio of the thigh to the calves is also 1:1. Let's start with the front side of the leg. Our legs are made up of 3 main bones, which are femur, fibula, and tibia. The femur is connected to our pelvis, while our calves is supported by fibula and tibia.
ちょっとミニ先輩. I thought this was supposed to be a hentai drawing class. And why are you dressed like that?
I thought it would fit the theme. Anyways, the femur and the fibula is connected by ligaments and protected by a small bone called patella, aka You'll find many artists draw this small bone underneath to make their art look more realistic. Alright, we're done with the bones. Let's move on to the muscles. The important muscle groups are rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, sartorius, and gastrocnemius. Sartorius is a long, narrow muscle that runs linearly across the front of the thigh. It stretches from the hip bone to right below the knee. This muscle is very important because it affects the inner thigh. The inner thigh will be locked around here by the sartorius muscle, and that is why we can see 2 wave motions here. One thing I want to point out is, the widest area of our body is actually here, not the pelvis, not the ass. Next, when we're standing straight, our knees are naturally pointed inwards, while our ankles are pointed outwards. The direction of the knees and the ankles are the complete opposite. Now, let's move on to the calves. The gastrocnemius is the muscle in our calves, and it's made up of 2 bulky muscle groups. But, when it comes to drawing kawaii waifus, the calves will look simpler, like this. The shape of the calves is affected by the gastrocnemius, but please do not overdraw it or else it will look too muscular. Just make sure to draw the wave motions of this muscle when you're drawing the calves. Without these muscles and bones, our legs will look like a lump of meat. If that's the case, I'm afraid our waifus wouldn't look great. Now that we have understand the fundamentals, I'll teach you how to draw them. For those kohais who are still struggling to draw the upper body, you wouldn't want your character to look like a monkey with sexy legs, would ya? So click here to get teleported. Now, to the lean long legs. The first step is to draw the lines of the lower limbs. We can separate the leg into 4 sections: the thigh, the knee, the calf, and the foot. We use lines and curves to show the direction of the foot. You don't just draw 2 straight lines. You're not drawing a stickman, because if you do so, the legs are going to look plain and boring. Firstly, draw the sartorius muscle. Then, draw the inner thigh and connect the sartorius muscle to the knee. Next, draw the vastus lateralis, which is the outline of the thigh. Lastly, connect the inner thigh to the pelvis and the thigh is complete. The next step is to draw the calves. When you're drawing the calves, you must draw the wave motions of the muscle. Then, we can complete our full body practice. In order to draw a good leg, you must be able to differentiate which part of the leg is to use a straight line and which part is to use a curvy line. By drawing these lines and curves at the right place, our legs will look more realistic and natural. Just draw them according to the shape of the muscle. Here's a technique I use for drawing lean long legs, and I call this technique A の呼吸、1の肩、2本の直線と3本の曲線。Here's a few tips. The outer contour of our legs is curvy. The inner contour is less curvy. The tibia is always straight. The calves are always curvy, and the Achilles tendon is always straight. I hope you guys can try out these techniques. Fake it till you make it. Bonus tips! Here's a special bonus for guys who love drawing thighs with thigh-high socks.
Everybody loves the Zettai Ryoiki, especially Rito Saka's one. The Zettai Ryoiki is the best. Delicioso.
Here's a picture on how to draw Zettai Ryoiki by Rico Tree. The illustration on the left is close, but not quite there. There's something missing. But the illustration on the right is drawn by an artist who gets it. I love it when artists pay attention to this part here, and this is why they are illustration gods. At first glance, these two pictures might appear identical, and some might have a hard time picking out the differences. So what's the difference? For the drawing on the left, the line of the character's leg is completely straight, but for the drawing on the right, the upper thigh tapers in ever so slightly before it tucks into the sock, and the covering produces a tiny dimple in the skin, accompanied by an associated red coloring and shine. And this is how the Zettai Ryoiki should be drawn. My fellow hentai koais, as Rico Tree said, illustration no kami ni nare. Well, there's no way to perfect your lower limbs without tons of practice, because drawing them correctly is not enough. You have to include the center of the gravity of the character, the dynamics, the shading, and the lighting on the muscle, etc. You need to find more full body references. Make sure you observe, analyze, and sketch them during your free time. Please drop a like, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter. DM me if you want a commission from me. Alright, that's all from me. Jana, guys. A の呼吸、1の肩、2本の直線と3本の曲線。